Go ahead and get started. And as people join in, we will acknowledge them. All right, good evening and welcome to 90 Days to Completion and the Laser Focus Power Hour. I am Lisa Anderson, small business mentor and growth strategist with Anavo Transformation Solutions, also known as the CEO's CEO. Those of you who have already joined in, I'm going to congratulate you on joining us this evening because the best investment you can ever make is an investment in yourself. So give yourselves a pat on the back because you're taking the time to professionally develop yourself. I want to go through an agenda really quickly so that you have an idea of what we're going to do this evening. So we're going to start first with going through a broadcast logistics, and then I'll go over to telling you a little bit about Anavo Transformation Solutions and a little bit about myself as well. I will then tell you a little bit about the mission of 90 Days to Completion and provide some insight around your big push goal. And then after that, I'm going to open up the floor for questions, and we'll go for as long as we need to, as long as you have questions out there. But we will end at exactly 8:30. All right. So before we begin, I want you to meet Milton, our production manager.
Hello.
Milton is everything technology, and he's going to keep us straight this evening. He's going to keep me straight this evening. We've experienced some internet issues throughout the course of today, so hopefully we won't have any issues here. But if we do, no worries, because Milton will save the day for us. He's also going to pull the questions as we go through the process this evening. And then he's also going to send you greetings as individuals are added into the chat here. So if you have a question, type in /Q in the comment section to ask your question. And then when we get to the Q&A period, we'll make sure that that's taken care of. The other thing I want to ask is that you not keep this best kept secret to spread the word. Click the Twitter birdie and tweet about this event. Milton is going to drop a GIF in the comment section to show you how to actually tell a little bird about what's going on here this evening.
All right, that's in there.
Okay, great. Thank you. The other thing I want to do is I want to join you. I want to welcome you or offer for you to join our Facebook group at 90 Days to Completion. This is a great opportunity for you to get information. The best thing about it is that the group is free. This is a free mastermind. So Milton is going to also now place a link in the comment section to the Facebook group for your convenience. But I would encourage anybody that's on this call that's not already a member of the 90 Days to Completion to actually go ahead and join us. And I'm going to take a second to get rid of this headphone because I have a really bad echo here. So 1 second. Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's talk about who Anavo Transformation Solutions is. Anavo is a Greek word that means ignite. And transformation, we all know, means change. And solutions is strategies. So Anavo Transformation Solutions is a professional development organization that helps entrepreneurs, business owners and leaders, CEOs, implement strategies that ignite the power of change. Our mission is to raise CEOs 5,000 feet above the weeds of business and focus on growth, sustainability, and vision expansion. So in summary, I like to say I sell air. Yes, I sell air. AIR. And what that really means is action, impact, and results. Action, impact, and results are derived from the development of systems and strategies that give the CEO air to breathe. And that is my objective, is to give the CEO air to breathe. So that's what I mean by I sell air. As I mentioned earlier, I am Lisa Anderson. And just to give you a little bit about me, I am a CEO. I am a CPA, which means Certified Public Accountant. I'm a certified leadership coach, a professor, a college professor, a daughter, a wife, a mother, and a friend. And I also like to say that I'm a serial entrepreneur with 18 years of experience as a business owner. I own and operate an accounting and compliance company, 2 real estate investment companies, a professional development firm, and now I am CEO. I am a CEO coach, which is a Novel Transformation Solutions. In my 30 years, I hate to say that, but 30 years of experience, I've literally helped hundreds of small businesses grow. And as a result of the work that I've done for small businesses, I've won a number of awards. So you can see a lot of that on my website, which is posted below. You can probably see that below me, below my picture here. So I've sat actually where many of you are sitting right now. 18 years ago, I ventured into the wonderful world of entrepreneurship. And quite frankly, I had no idea what I was doing. I had some outrage after having worked for what I call an unreasonable organization. So that made me pack my bags and leave. I had a passion to teach small businesses how to succeed. I had an idea to bring to the marketplace what I felt was an idea that would sell. And I had no experience in running a business. At the time that I started my business in 1997, or my first business in 1997, I had a young family with a 10-month-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter. And I literally had no money. All of that meant that I needed to make it work. So going into entrepreneurship and starting a business, I had the passion and the drive to make things work because I had all those things behind me that were pushing me forward. And through my hard work, perseverance, dedication, and a great circle of influence, I was successful in not only taking my business from a startup to a multi-million-dollar business, but also building other successful businesses along the way. So I know what it means to have a dream and strong desire, but also having to fight the day-to-day distractions that keep us from seeking our plans out through to completion. I also know what it feels like to consider the journey and feel like the road is impossible to travel. I know what it feels like to be helter skelter because I keep running from one idea to the next and suddenly finding I'm still standing in the same place year after year. I know what it feels like to simply want to give up and retreat to my comfort zone where the world seems so simple. But I also know what it feels like to be extremely disappointed in myself because I did not push harder or further to finish what I started. So what kept me going? What made me see my plans through to this leg of my journey that I've experienced so far? And it's my why. While my why has evolved over the years, my why has always, always, always been bigger than me. So I'll say that again. My why has always been bigger than me. So what was my why? My why was my family. I wanted them to have the final things in life. I wanted them to get an excellent education. So I needed to pay college tuition. I'm actually in that mode right now. It's my employees. I love creating opportunities for people. So I needed to make certain there were opportunities available to those who simply believed in me, in my mission, and my ability to keep going. It's my clients. As a teacher at heart, I have a very serious passion for small business. I just simply want to see them succeed and without the struggles and challenges I've had to endure. It's my community. My businesses give me the real opportunity to give back to the causes that are very near and dear to my heart. For example, serving as a business advisor for a nonprofit organization owned by a childhood friend. Without having my business in place and having the flexibility that's needed to be able to serve in that capacity, it would be a struggle. I am able to give tirelessly to these organizations and serve these causes because my business gives me the flexibility and the financial means that I need to get it done. And then behind the why, of course, is me. I have worked harder than a Hebrew slave for close to 20 years, and I feel as though I deserve to live stress-free with the financial means that can care for me and my husband and my family through our retirement years. So these are all the things that have pushed me through the process that have kept me in the game. I also saw the value of getting help. I've always had a business mentor. From the day I started business, I've always had a mentor. However, I took myself and my business to a whole new level once I hired a dedicated coach, a dedicated business coach. The mountains that I climbed or that I had to climb as a business owner that seemed quite insurmountable became very easy once I hired a coach. She gave me perspective no one else could. And the bottom line is she was able to do that because she had been where I was trying to go. I finally had someone who I could talk to that really understood my position and my perspective. And quite frankly, she did not allow me to just simply give up. So as a business mentor and a growth strategist, I now get the opportunity to pay all of that forward. And so now I am serving in that mentor and coach capacity to help others, like many of you who may be on this broadcast this evening, that may be either business owners or aspiring business owners or business leaders who really want to get over the hurdle. So shortly, Milton, I think I'm looking at you. I don't know what direction it is, but shortly we will go into a Q&A session. So what I'd like for you to start doing is queuing up your questions. You can do that once again, by typing in /Q or /question, and then typing in your question. And that will queue up in the comment section, and we'll make certain to get to your questions in a few moments. So this is what 90 Days to Completion is all about. It's a free Facebook mastermind filled with business owners, aspiring business owners, organizational leaders, career professionals who just simply want to finally complete that one big thing by the end of this year. That's it. We are all committed to making certain that these goals happen. So if you're serious about giving yourself the gift of being done, I mean, literally being able to check the box and say you are finished, you want to join our group. It's 90 Days to Completion. That's the Facebook group. So Milton, if you need to put that link back out there, if you can do that for me.
Okay.
And it's not too late. It's really not too late to complete whatever it is that you want to complete by the end of the year. And one of my favorite mantras is anything is possible. Anything. So what have we done so far in our Facebook group? The group officially started on October 2nd, 2015. We actually started just a few days before then, just to kind of get things ramped up and started and get some collaboration started in the group. But we officially started on October 2nd, which marked the 90th day before this year, 2015, ends. Everybody started with making a commitment to themselves to stick with their plan, and actually to the group to continue to participate and to collaborate. We then declared our one big push goal. Our one big push goal. So what is that? What is the big push goal? The big push goal is that exciting change that you are looking to make in your life, in your career, or your business. That one exciting change. It's that thing that gives you the butterflies when you think about it. I mean, it's just, it seems like the most exciting thing, but maybe the most impossible thing, but you know that you can achieve it. It's that dream that requires multiple steps that also seem to be impossible to achieve. It's that something worthwhile. So we are endeavoring to achieve the impossible by focusing and taking small steps, or as we say in our group, eating the elephant one bite at a time. The objective is to take a small step or small steps each day until you can say you are finally done. It's focus. Each day we provide inspiration to keep everybody pushing. We also ask a lot of questions and help one another where possible. And we also celebrate the wins. That's big. That's a big deal. As you go through the process of, chugging through to completion, it's very important that you celebrate every win along the way. That's how you stay motivated. That's how you're encouraged to keep pushing, to keep seeing this thing through. But I think the greatest thing we hold about this group is that we hold one another accountable. You can't hide from the group because we'll call you out. If you go missing, we'll call you out. If you haven't made any steps in your progression, we'll call you out. And it's there. We do that because we want to make certain that you complete your goals, you see them all the way through to the end. It's very important to us. So before I move into our Q&A session, and if you haven't already started asking questions, go ahead and start queuing those up. You can do that by typing /Q or /question followed by your question in the comment section, and we'll get those queued up. But I want to leave you with a quote that you've probably all heard. And this is by Dr. Martin Luther King, and it simply says, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the entire staircase." You just simply need to take the first step. You cannot predict the future. However, you can let go of the baggage of the past, the burden of the present, and begin crafting an ideal future. So take the first step of faith and walk boldly into your endeavors. Let's see. How we doing logistically?
Well, we have questions that we received before the broadcast. People who wanted to send them in to make sure they were read, and I can read some of those.
Okay, so let's see. So we're ready to go into the Q&A session, and hopefully everybody has started to queue up some questions. Can you see questions at all?
No.
Okay. So go ahead if you can queue up your questions. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get started with answering some of the questions that we've already received in the Facebook group. In the meantime, you can type in /Q or /question in the comment section, and you can get your questions answered that way. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that started. You can go ahead and start with the first few questions.
Okay. First question. I signed up for the 90 days, but have not been able to focus. With trying to take care of my mom and water intrusion in my basement, it has been a mess the entire week, and let's not discuss a busy job. I feel the walls are sometimes closing in. I always have so much to do. I need to ask for help. but like to do everything myself.
Hmm. Yeah, so it seems like as soon as we make a commitment, and it doesn't matter what the commitment is, but as soon as we make a commitment to do something, everything else in the universe seems to fall into place and start to come at us. It's almost like an attack, and quite frankly, it is. All those things that are coming at you as you're going through the process of um, uh, pushing forward towards your goal to achieve something really finally for yourself. Um, those are just distractions. That's it. So what I suggest that you do is, number one, you want to make certain that you keep your push goal in front of you, that it is extremely important that you know what that is, that you don't get off track, that you don't get off focus, but also consider the help that you have available to you to help to wade off some of the distractions that are coming in your direction. And we always want to be helpful. We always want to help somebody. We always want to be there for somebody else. We by human nature, we tend to put other people first. I mean, that just happens naturally. And we put other things first. We always put ourselves last. If you go back to the list of whys that I had for myself, I was the last one on my list. But the thing is, we have help available to us. It is always there's always somebody there, willing and able to assist. Whether it is somebody that we have to pay to help, like to get the plumbing issue fixed, or if it's somebody, a friend or a family member that's sitting in the wings and they're just waiting for you to ask them for some assistance. We just have to get comfortable with asking for help. So that's my suggestion in that is don't let the distractions deter you. Don't let them move you in a different direction because quite frankly, if you allow the distractions to get in your way, you'll never be able to get to the end of the road with your objectives and your goals. And when you get to the end of the road in life, you'll look backwards and say, well, what about me? So you have control over your life. You have control over yourself. You have the ability to get what you want and to get what you need. And so you have to make the commitment. Stick with your push goal. Keep it in front of you, and get help. Ask for help. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Next question.
Yep.
What is a reasonable timeline to place on completing my business plan and actually starting my business?
Hmm. All right. So that also kind of goes back to some of what I said in question number one, because again, you have control over your destiny. You do. So a lot of times what we do is we allow other things to take the place of what is most important for us. So as we've been in our Facebook group, we have a number of people who are interested in starting a business. And when we take a look at the push goals for them in terms of how they're going to go through that process of getting it started and launched by the end of the year, their initial goal was to get it up and started within 2, 3, and 4 years. That's a long time. That's a really long time to wait. If you have a desire to get a business up and started, you want to do it while you have the passion to move forward with it. So 2 years, 3 years, 4 years is a long time to put a business plan together. Quite frankly, you can get a business plan done and complete it in 90 days or less. Actually, I can help you with a business plan in a day. So, what's a reasonable timeline? I'm going to say 90 days. Let's get it done in these 90 days, especially if you're working a full-time job and you're trying to make that transition. Let's put that business plan together in 90 days. You don't need to rush, but you shouldn't wait. That's my answer.
Alrighty. Next question. I was a member of Rotary for more than 14 years. The organization was a huge advocate of planning. Always have a plan. While I agree that planning and preparation are necessary, you have to know where you want to go if you're going to get there. it was a lack of determination that usually caused failure, not a lack of planning.
Yeah. So the very first key element of achieving any type of goal or objective is to make sure that it is a high priority and that it is part of your personal desires. If it's not a high priority and it's not part of your personal desires, I mean, you really want to do this as part of your passion, it's a burning desire, you're going to find a way not to do it. It's not going to be important. So you can plan all you want to, but if you don't have a desire to get it done, if you don't have a why behind it that's pushing you, then it won't matter. So the statement that was made here, I agree that there has to be determination. Determination and then planning is going to help you see you through to your push goal.
Okay. Number 4, why is it anytime we make a commitment to do something for ourselves, a mountain of distractions, which you just spoke on earlier, seem to fall on top of us?
Yeah. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse because I mean I think we already know that distraction, all those things are just distraction. It's just the universe coming in to really test you out, honestly, in a number of ways. So I'm going to read something that I posted out there earlier this week on our Facebook page as it relates to distractions and seeing your way through to commitment. And yeah, I have my old lady glasses on. But here are a few reasons why distractions seem to come into play. Number one, they serve as a test to see how serious you are about your goals and about the goals that you've established. So they're testing you to see if you're really serious about those things. They are designed to deter your focus, to get you off track. Simply stated, that's one of the purposes that they have. They serve as a temptation to entice you into engaging in other things, making your goal less important. They come to feed the mythical thinking that it's selfish to think of yourself first. That's not true. You have to think of yourself first. In fact, when you're on an airplane, they tell you if there's some type of emergency and the plane is going down, they tell you to put your oxygen mask on first before you go to help somebody else. You have to take care of yourself first before you take care of someone else. So the distractions are there to help you to actually get you off course, to test your seriousness of your goals and your objectives. I say to just ignore the distractions, and as I said previously, get help. Honestly, put a strategy together, push forward with your plan, and get some help.
I've been feeling very distracted. I want to start a fresh life and goals going into 2016 without the distractions. I've been very frustrated trying to complete my business plan, and that's my number one goal. I feel like once I get that first part done, I can breathe easy and move into the next phase.
Well, what I'm going to say here is that you've actually started your business plan. By going through the process of performing the research that's necessary, you've taken the first small step. And so now the next steps are to map out the remaining steps that need to be taken to get the business plan in place. We want to take them in sections. There's financial section, there's market research. So you want to break those down into smaller, manageable pieces. And then from that point forward, as I mentioned earlier, celebrate the win. Celebrate the fact that you've taken that first step so that you can continue to be motivated. Don't see the other things as a distraction. Or don't give in to those distractions. The actual steps that you've taken to start the research is a first step. And so next week, let's start the next step. Let's start looking at the market research and go out there and determine who your competitors are and what they're doing, and start to do a little bit of research on that, and whether or not your market is going to accept your concept. So let's take those again, take the business plan itself, break it down into smaller, actionable pieces, and then take one step each day to come to completion on that business goal and celebrate the wins.
Right now, I feel stuck, not sure where to start. What I have done the past 2 days is research something I know all too well. I've been spending a lot of time on the Small Business Administration website. I will download a business plan form and see if that will help give me a starting place.
Yeah. So that's a good beginning. Is to pull down resources and tools so that, as I mentioned in the previous question, so that you break the business planning process down into smaller chunks. And as we move forward in the Facebook group, we will work together on breaking these sections down into smaller pieces. And also we'll give you some resources and provide you with some guidance on what your next steps should be. One thing I want to say about business plans is there's a big idea that these business plans have to be hundreds of pages long. Those business plans are gone. Nobody reads them. Your business plan needs to be simple. Keep it short, sweet, and simple and to the point. In fact, some business plans are just one page. So again, don't think that you have to write this 100-page dissertation on your business. You don't have to do that. We just need to get to the point. And so that's what we will be doing over the course of the next several weeks is breaking the business plan into smaller actionable items so that you have the ability to then put together an effective business plan that is short, sweet, and to the point. Keep it simple.
Why is it important to write your vision down?
So I'm going to start here by saying the Bible tells us that we should, right? Without a vision, the city will perish. And so the vision actually keeps us focused. It keeps us moving in motion. But with the other thing that writing a vision down does is it basically is what I call a contract with the universe. It's telling the universe that we are serious about our goals and our objectives. If you write it down, you're writing a contract. And so there's a book that I have, and I can't remember the name of it now. I think it's Making Plans. But Henrietta Clauser says in that book that writing down your dreams and aspirations is like hanging up a sign that says "Open for Business," and it's real. It's like when you go purchase a vehicle and you've never seen that vehicle on the streets before, maybe even not that style or that color. But you go to the dealership, you purchase the vehicle, you sign the contract, and as soon as you leave the lot, all of a sudden you start to see hundreds and hundreds of vehicles exactly like that. So when you write your vision down, it starts to open up the world of possibilities. It just does. And all of the resources and tools that are necessary to help you see that vision all the way through to the end start to attract themselves to you. So you got to write it down. The other thing is it keeps you on track. If you write your vision down, you keep it in front of you every single day, it's very difficult to get off track. It becomes your roadmap.
I am a big overthinker. I strategically plan and think, and then I go back and rethink the plan I just planned. I just can't seem to focus on my goal no matter what.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to say simply, don't overthink. That is one of the biggest killers of establishing your goals, of seeing them all the way through, but it's also a big business killer. So you don't want to overthink the process. Typically speaking, when you're overthinking the process, what you're doing is you're trying to perfect things. And I always say it's a reminder for myself as well, because I'm a perfectionist also. I'm a recovering perfectionist, I should say, is that perfection is a myth. It's not real. Perfection is actually a form of fear. It is. We're afraid that somebody's going to find out that we don't know what we're doing. We're afraid that somebody's going to find out that we made a mistake. We're afraid that they're going to get a different type of impression of us. Get rid of it. No, there's no such thing as perfect. What you want to do is you want to move towards done. You want to be able to get things finished. And quite frankly, anything that you start, if it doesn't meet 100% of the standard, you can modify and fix it along the way. Nothing's perfect. So you want to get rid of that. So get rid of the overthinking, get rid of the need to be perfect, because that is going to continue to delay your goal process. It just is.
Okay. I am just now trying to learn internet marketing and must say I'm feeling a little stupid. I refuse to give up because I have a goal and I'm going to see it through. I am totally overwhelmed at this point, but I know others are doing it, so why can't I?
Yeah. So there's a couple of things there. Number one, I want to say that just like I said before, you want to take that. Right now, it seems to be overwhelming because it's huge, it's large. I mean, you see, if you've never done internet marketing before, and I'm fairly new to internet marketing myself, and it does seem like a huge monster. But if you go through the process of breaking it down into actionable steps, it becomes a lot easier. The other thing too is stop looking at what everybody else is doing. Find one method and stick with that one method. So focus your efforts, focus your energies on one method. Follow that through, not perfect it, but master it, and then move on to another method that may be helpful to you as well. So take it one step at a time. Small, as I mentioned before, we want to eat the elephant one bite at a time. So break it down into smaller pieces. It can be done. That's one of those objectives that can be finished actually before 90 days.
Okay, so the last one we have is I have found that setting goals is the easy part. It's the execution that hinders me.
Hmm. So setting the goal is the easy part. It's execution that hinders. So the execution kind of stops you cold in your tracks because really you don't have an effective plan, or the plan is too large. You want to be able to again break it down into smaller pieces and take one piece one day at a time. Don't try to get it all completed at once. That helps with execution. The other thing that helps with execution is establishing an accountability partner that is going to hold you accountable for staying on track with your objectives, whatever the smaller pieces are. And then the other part of it is to get help. The other thing that we believe when we start to establish goals for ourselves is that we are the only ones that can see this thing through, that we are the only ones with the responsibility to get it all done. And that's not feasible either. Um, we're designed to actually seek help and to what's the word I want to use, to commune with one another, to get assistance. And so reach out to your community, tell people, share with people what your goals and objectives are, and solicit their input and advice. They can help you. They can help you move through the process. They may know something that will get you through to execution. So don't do it alone. Break it down into smaller pieces. Take one step at a time, and have an accountability partner that will help you through that process. Have we received any other questions in the chat area?
No, we have not.
No, not yet. Does anybody out there have any questions that you want to ask? Or would you like to join us on the open seat? Feel free to join in.
Don't be shy.
Let's see. Oh, we're good on time. Let me see if I can see questions on my end. I do not see any. So, guys, if you have any questions, if you could just go ahead and put them out there. Milton, you have any questions?
No, I don't.
What about your big push goal? You got anything you want to achieve by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, business wise, yeah, I have an idea that I'd like to pursue. Um, I guess it's more than an idea. I've actually already started working on it. It's just now I have to kind of set out a plan, determine the steps that I need to take to bring this thing to life and to succeed at it and to actually just do it. Um, like a lot of questions that were asked or statements that were made. What is happening with me is life. Life is kind of being pulled in different directions, having to divide my attention in different places is what I've allowed to hinder me from moving forward. But I mean, I guess I can't really, I can't not take your advice. It's because I have this awesome resource. So yeah, I do have a plan to before the end of the year to launch my business, and it's in streaming entertainment business. So yeah, I've taken some steps. I've done some research and I've talked to a lot of people. I'm connected with some people in that field who are in the know, and it's just a matter of getting my ducks in a row and just executing the steps that I know I need to do.
All right. So when you say that you have life is in the way, is it financial? Is it time? What types of things, distractions are keeping you from seeing this through?
All of the above. You know, the vast majority of my time, waking moments is spent working. And you got to focus on your day job. The one that's paying your bills. So I do that, and just things in my personal life that require my attention. The important things that I need to attend to. But at the same time, I guess if you never take that step, I think you were saying, you take a step and just have faith that the next one will appear after you do that. Because if you don't, if you keep doing the same things that you've been doing the same ways, then you'll find yourself in the same place.
Mhm.
And I believe that ideas are energy, and if you don't capitalize on them, then somebody will. That idea will flow, from you, and somebody else, down the line will come up and say, "Well, man, I had that same idea, and somebody else did it." The thing is, they did it. They took the step. They put the nose to the grindstone and put action to their plan, and they took that leap of faith, and you know, and they succeeded at it. So. Um, I think a lot of people are in that situation where they get ideas, things come to them. Oh, I bet you I could do this or whatever. But for one reason or another, they just never do it. A lot of times I think people feel um, they look at themselves in such a way that, if this is my idea, then it probably won't work. If it was such a good idea, then somebody else would have done it. But that's a defeatist attitude. I believe every good thing given and every good thing is from the Lord. God gives you things. God gives you ideas and gives you opportunities to succeed and to be blessed. But it's your choice. You have to step into it. And like the parable of the gift. With the talents. God gives you these things, these talents, these opportunities, and He leaves it up to you as to whether or not you're going to bury it and run from it, do nothing, and let complacency take over, or you're going to just gather up your resources that you have at your disposal. Get your energy together and take that idea and do what you can with it, and swing for the fences. And I think sometimes people think they're doomed to fail. Well, if you don't take the step, you can't succeed. You have to make that effort. And I'm preaching to myself. I've had several ideas over the years that I think I feel would have been prosperous, but again, I let other things take me out of keep me away from doing that thing. So not this time. Not this time. I'm going to put forth get my ideas together and put some effort to it. And who knows, maybe I'll be one of your success stories. You can have me on as a speaker, as opposed to the guy who's keeping your blab running.
Yeah, you're funny. Well, I mean, so you talk about ideas, and you get visions and ideas, and you get a lot of them, right? But we talk about this. You and I have had this conversation before. But ideas are energy, and once you have an idea, if you don't grab onto that energy and move forward with that idea, it's going to keep moving until somebody else,
Right.
until it latches on to somebody else, and somebody else. You turn around, look up, and all of a sudden, somebody else has that idea. You're like, "Wait, how did that happen?"
Yeah.
Well, because the idea was birthed, it was released, and it needed to go someplace, so it found a home.
Right.
So it's really, up to you to do something with those ideas, honestly. The other thing too is you want to not come up with so many. You want to have an idea and put it into action and focus on seeing that through. Because then you become, again, I talked about being helter skelter and all over the place. It's because, especially from an entrepreneur's perspective, we're visionaries, we're thinkers. That's all we do is we come up with a lot of ideas, one after the other. But you have to focus on something, get it done, and then move on to the next one. So you have to be committed and focused and dedicated. And then once you start to put a plan in place, you start acting on that plan, and life sees that you're serious about it. Some of those things that are happening in your life will calm itself down. I mean, that's the reality. It happens. It will calm itself down. So, and I believe for you that will happen. Some things I know about your life is that your kids are growing up. So as they get older, they're going to require less of some things, more of other things, but it'll give you some room. In terms of time, you have time. You have time. You have at least an hour every day for lunch. I know that for certain.
Right.
And then sometimes in the evening. So I mean, there's time to get it done. It's just are you passionate about it? Do you believe that it can go someplace? And if so, then put a plan together and start working that plan.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
One thing we know that's guaranteed in all of this is that if you don't do anything, you won't achieve.
Right.
So that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That is true.
Yep. So I'm not sure if we have any more questions or if we still have anybody in the chat, but let's see.
No.
Okay, no more questions. All right. Well, I am going to prepare to shut this down. I thank everybody that joined in for joining us for 90 days to completion, our laser focused power hour. I want to also remind you to join us in our Facebook group at 90 Days to Completion, and Milton has put the link out there for us. If you want to get more information about me or about Anavo Transformation Solutions, you can go to the website that is listed right below me, which is www.anavotransformation.com. Or you can also reach me at www.lisadanderson.com. And finally, I want to make sure that you stay on the lookout for future broadcasts. We'll be doing this again. This is our first one. So hopefully everybody enjoyed this. And I'm going to ask you one more time to please tell a little bird. And thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.